You might be wondering why I'm carrying a couple of inflatable unicorns. Well, unicorns are not just these mythical beasts with horns. A unicorn is also a billion dollar company. And Stockholm has a bunch of these billion-dollar tech startups. It's in fact second in the world in terms of billion-dollar startups per population, per capita. You know, think about it. Many of those drivers are probably responsible for services that you use every day of your life. That could be the Spotify guy. That could be the Skype guy. You know, it's amazing when you think about it. You have all these hugely successful startups from Stockholm like Klarna or Spotify, but what is it about Stockholm that makes it such a great breeding ground for startups in the IT and tech industry?
I think for two reasons. First of all, it's a question of lineage. So the bloodline of engineering runs deep in Sweden, right? So, and the roots of building stuff is really strong. I'm thinking about companies like Volvo, AGA, Ericsson, logistical geniuses like IKEA and H&M and so on. So this is a nation of great builders.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah. So second of all, I think darkness drives creativity.
Right.
Yeah. So there comes a time in every Swede's life when you have to answer the question: am I going to go to Asia on a beach vacation, or am I going to stick around in the darkness and be creative?
In the winter when it's cold and dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was great.
Listen.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Great. Listen to that. Oh, man. Come on. But tell me when you're going. You are rolling. Off the top of your head, just one or two.
Off the top of my head, and of course you're speaking to an expat. So I'm an American. I've been living in Stockholm for 20-some years.
Cool.
It is a friendly, open society. It supports this work-life balance.
Okay.
But Swedes are really proud of their ideas. So you have, if you look back in Swedish history, you have great tennis players who it seems like they pop up out of nowhere, but when a Swede shows him or herself to be great at something, then the rest of the country is like, well, we can too.
Oh.
So I think the same thing with business is you have these great stories of startups, for example, Spotify. So all they need is one example, and then the rest of them come into that. And I think that's the community mentality of a Swede.
They look like they're fighting, don't they? It's nice. See, they're slugging it out because they're highly motivated young Swedish startup companies, and they're slugging it out to see who's going to dominate the market. All right? It's a metaphor, if you will. Did someone order unicorns? Well, what are the results of failure here as compared to, say, in the States? I mean, are you going to end up homeless? Are you going to end up broke? Or are you going to?
That's a very good perspective. I think we've created a society where we can add more risk to the equation. Obviously, I think it's a huge benefit. Education is free. The worst thing that really can happen to you, you're really going to have to look out, proactively look for a really bad outcome.
Okay.
I mean, if you can always find a job, or you can go into social welfare for a while. There's a safety net that you have always in your back.
So you can jump off the cliff and hope for the best.
I think that's one huge competitive edge that we have.
Great. As leaders and entrepreneurs, we're pretty transparent. We say how it is most of the time. We're pragmatic. We're trying to find simple solutions, and we're design focused. And that's pretty good if you're going to try to design something that customers will love.
They're a metaphor for life, the universe, and everything. Some of the traditional things that I don't know if they still have a play in Swedish society, or if they ever did, or if it's just a myth, but things like jantelagen, where you're not supposed to stick yourself forward to say you're better or different.
That's a huge difference, like culture-wise.
Yeah.
If I compare it to America, for example, we really, really we believe in jantelagen.
Okay.
So you should really show your success by really show it and not telling people about it. And then other people will tell your story for you.
Okay. Today at the Startup Fair, I've learned a lot of really interesting things about Swedes, Swedish culture and society, and some of the factors that might explain the startup phenomenon and the infrastructure behind it. I'm not really sure how to process all of this. I'm going to have to sleep on it. I'll get back to you. Gabe Savage, signing off.